All right, what's up, everybody? Brian Engelman here with the New American Media. If you're watching live over here on Facebook in the Unhappy Hour Sports Show group, thank you very much. Thanks for sticking around. Leave your comments. Type your comments below. What up, Phil and Nick? Phil and Nick, which one of you watching are going to be going to the Cleveland Browns home opener? We need to know who we can meet up with. We're going to be having trivia, giving out prizes, having a good time that whole day. But anyway, yeah, if you're watching live, that just took a matter of seconds, but if you're watching after the fact, you've probably seen this on youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. Click subscribe and watch those shows, or you're probably watching on vid.me/TheNewAmericanMedia, because YouTube is banning all of our stuff. They're demonetizing all of our content. They are censoring us because they don't like our political opinions on our Agree to Disagree show, and we're not buying their... we don't like the agenda that they're pushing. So we have a freedom of speech, First Amendment right to do that. I know they're a private company, but because they are heavily censoring us, we're going to different platforms and we're going to move around. So patreon.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. That's how you could help us out. You could donate a little bit to us, kick in a couple bucks a month, like a PBS sponsorship drive. But we're definitely trying to increase the operations. We're definitely trying to improve the infrastructure and add to our team. We're ready to take some major strides. And I think it's time that we do this. It's kind of been on a shoestring budget. It's been a labor of love, a side project for too long. I think what we're doing is really good. The community is liking what we're putting together. So check us out on all of the platforms. Instagram.com/TheUnhappyHour. We just started that last night because we made some business cards. We're going to be handing those out when we do the trivia show in the Muni lot at the Cleveland Browns Schittsburg Steelers home opener. So hopefully you'll be out there to check that out. But it's Instagram.com/TheUnhappyHour. So link up with that page, and you can also do Instagram.com/TheNewAmericanMedia, where you're going to get our politics and everything else as well. There's so many places. I don't know. Just find us on all the places. Twitter at American_media_, Facebook.com/TheNewAmericanMedia, all that jazz. And I'd say Periscope, but we haven't done Periscope in a while. I don't know. Maybe we'll get back to it. But anyway, okay, so the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics are going into a bit of a situation now. Obviously, if you're not aware, there was a trade. The Cavs set this trade up with Isaiah Thomas. So the Cavs were sending point guard Kyrie Irving, who had a couple of years left on his contract. And I said, tell him tough luck. If he wants to sit out for $20 million and not play basketball, whatever. We don't have to trade you. We don't have to give in to your demands. You're acting like a baby, man. That might have been how I handled it. Now, maybe I would have handled it wrong, or maybe it's easy for me to say that now and I wouldn't have actually handled it that way. But Kyrie Irving requested a trade, and the Cavaliers said, all right, let's look around, see what we can find. And so the number one team and the number two team who played in the Eastern Conference Finals last year in the NBA made a swap of two all-star caliber point guards. Isaiah Thomas coming to the Cavs, along with Jay Crowder, along with this big, tall center that nobody knows about, and a draft pick, an unprotected draft pick from the New Jersey Nets, Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, I keep screwing that up. But, yeah, unprotected, and they were the worst team in the league last year. They added Timofey Mozgov and D'Angelo Russell, so maybe they would improve, maybe, top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5, who knows. Rolling that pick down from the best to a couple down from that, but it's very valuable. But anyway, so this trade was pending the physical of Isaiah Thomas, and he came in, and the Cavs didn't like what they saw. The Celtics are saying, look, we were up front, we were honest, we told you that he was injured. Hell, you played us in the last couple games of the season. You watched us shut him down when he got injured with his hip. You know what you were getting. And the Cavs are like, no, we know that he was injured, but we thought he was going to be ready to play in the season, when the season started. If we were without a point guard, this changes things a little bit. So they're out there trying to get some different stuff. They're looking for Boston has a bunch of first-round draft picks over the next couple of years. They have some picks that were accumulated from other trades, but they also have Jason Tatum, who they're trying to pick up. Let's just see how this plays out. I don't know. I mean, is there any way that you reverse the trade and say, yeah, no thanks, we're just going to bring him back and we'll figure it out? I mean, come on. Why can't LeBron take Kyrie out to dinner and just figure this out? Hash it out like men. I know Kyrie believes the world's flat, and I know that LeBron believes that the world revolves around him. But maybe they're both wrong. Maybe they can both grow up and get back to playing championship-level basketball like we have for the past 3 years. Come on. And think about it. If if LeBron James were to leave, which according to Zach Barris, who's been on our program for pretty much about 6 years, the whole time we've been doing our show, um, he's convinced that he's staying. So I'm not sweating it too much, but there is a chance. I mean, were some of these players, remember when Paul George kind of came out and said, in Carmelo, Cleveland was on the short list for a minute, and then they said, no, Cleveland's not on one of the teams we want to go play for. Is that because LeBron's not committing? Is that because LeBron's telling him behind the scenes, look, man, I'm not going to be there next year, so I'm not going to lie to you. That's what's happening. Maybe he does already have his ticket booked or his ticket punched. All right, fine. Well, if that's the case, guess what? Kyrie, you get to lead a team. So if LeBron leaves, it's your team again. And if he doesn't, you're going back to the finals. What is your deal, man? Whatever. Everybody's entitled to make their own moves, their own career choices. I get it. But it makes me sad to think that they haven't been able to work that out. That makes me very sad. I just got to hold on to some faith that they might be able to work it out. And in the absence of being able to work it out, let's get some assets back. But unfortunately, who they're getting back, it's a player that might not be ready for the season, and the Cavs are saying that's not good enough. They need some more. So we'll see. We'll see if we get Tatum, see if we get more draft picks. But certainly, I would not expect to even see these draft picks. I know some people are saying do a strong rebuild next year. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe go get DeMarcus Cousins. Maybe you package some of those draft picks and Iman Shumpert and a few other things, and you get some players now. That was the Andrew Wiggins versus Kevin Love debate. Well, Andrew Wiggins could be a much better player in 5 years. Yeah, well, we don't have 5 years. LeBron's in his prime now. You get the best player, possibly the best player that's ever played basketball in the world, playing on your team now. You win now. You don't play for 8 years from now. He might not be in the league 8 years from now. I think he's going to play till he's 50 years old. I'm not kidding. I think he's going to play till he's 50. I know there's only 2 players in the league, Manu Ginobili and Vince Carter, who are in their 40s that are playing the NBA. But the way LeBron takes care of himself, I could easily see him playing him into his 50s, playing against his boy. Yeah, that'd be fun. Or with, alley-oop, James to James. That'd be funny. But anyway, it's an ongoing saga. It's an ongoing drama. We'll follow it. We'll continue to follow it. I do want to add this, though, because I totally screwed up. I'm broadcasting remotely. I'm out of the studio, out of my element a little bit, and I had some notes over here on the side. I usually put this together. I talked about in the Cleveland Browns segment about DeShone Kizer being the starter. Talked about a few different things there, but the thing I did not mention with the Cleveland Browns, and I wanted to get to, Jim Brown. Jim Brown sat down, had a conversation with the Cleveland Browns players and said, look, I understand what's going on. I understand that you think there's some injustices going on in the world. You have some opinions on that. You're entitled to. Jim Brown has been one of the most outspoken athletes in his career, in his lifetime, especially with black issues with black players and black communities. And Jim Brown, now I'm paraphrasing here. I don't have the article pulled up in front of me. Like I said, I'm not in my regular studio. But Jim Brown made it clear to the players that in his opinion, it's not okay to be disrespecting that flag. There's a time and a place to do whatever you need to do, and that's not it. That's very disrespectful in a totally counterproductive way. And the Cleveland Browns players, a bunch of them locked arms and for the national anthem, which is much better than taking a knee and disrespecting or turning your head away or sitting down or riding a stationary. But it's so stupid. I'm so over this story. But thank God, Jim Brown's got his own battered past. He's definitely not been a saint throughout his life and career by any means. We're all entitled to bounce back after some mistakes, which is my point with Josh Gordon was, hey, we make some mistakes, but how long can I be banned from earning a living? Yeah, all right, I made a mistake. Ban me for a year. Now, when do I get to come back? Same with Jim Brown. Everybody makes mistakes. When can you participate again? So he's been with the current Cleveland Browns organization for a while, and I like what he did. Definitely got that team to pull its head out of their butts, and I'm happy about that. Believe what you want, say what you want, this, that, or the other. I personally think that whole nonsense, the kneeling and protesting police brutality, it's like, man, this is just trying to stir up a race war that I'm not interested in having. I think this country's better than that. I think so few people actually care about what flying spaghetti monster in the sky you worship, what your religion is. I don't think people care what continent you're from or what language you speak, what color your skin is. Most people I know don't care about any of that. I think it's about judging on the content of your character. So, the whole issue is boring me. I just can't wait till we get to actually watch some football games that count. That's what I'm looking forward to, competing for a AFC North title championship. But special thanks, special kudos to Jim Brown. I should have put it in my previous segment, but I forgot. So anyway, we'll go to comments here. Let's see what we got. All right, Phil and Nick, what up, B? Okay, they're not going to be going to the game, unfortunately. Get a dedicated website. I will donate web space. Ed, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about, I'm trying to remember what we were discussing. Yeah, because you're a web guy. You got that whole background. But we do have a plan. On that point, Ed, we're talking about launching a site to, how do I say this? To compete with YouTube, to replace YouTube. We started what we're doing called the New American Media because we felt that the old American media failed us. The old American media is little more than propaganda by the few companies that do all their advertising and the politicians that are bought by those corporations. So they're putting all this fake content out. And with the internet, you just can't hide from it. If it's blatantly deceptive, I'm going to stop trusting the news outlet. Everybody makes mistakes, myself and our site included. But I think the intentional deception from a lot of these major news companies, it's opened the door. And the fact that YouTube is banning so many independent journalists for their content, I think there's an opportunity here to do something good and launch the New American Media as a place for independent journalists in 2017. So, Ed, talk to me about that a little bit later. The latest on the Kyrie trade, I believe I covered as much as I know about that. Most LOL from Matthew. What's up, Matt? That's why they stood arm in arm in Game 3. Yep, absolutely. So, hey, I don't know. We're just gonna have to follow the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, thanks, Ed. Yes, we will talk about that. I'm getting ready to put together a business plan to go to the Service Corps of Retired Executives and find some funding. There's maybe never been a better time to take on YouTube. Just their selective banning of content and demonetization of content. It's so blatant. It's so obvious. It's so bad. It's ripe. It's ripe for a revolution of ideas. And that's what I envision the New American Media to be. It's, the Rodney King angle of the United States. If you see something, you flip open your phone and you catch it on video. That's the New American Media. Yeah, you can produce content, you can craft your stories, and you can assemble your panels and do all this fancy schmancy stuff. But real journalism happens when you're walking past something and you catch it. Flip open the camera, go, hit record, launch it, live stream it. These things are crucial. In America, we take it for granted that this is the way things are and that's the way it's supposed to be. Try doing this in the Green Revolution over in Egypt. Try doing this over in Tiananmen Square in China. Try doing this in the Middle East. Try doing this. I know Egypt is Middle East, maybe North Africa, whatever, but you get my point. Canada, the hate speech stuff, you're not allowed to criticize things that you don't like. That's the point of the First Amendment. You're allowed to say that. Comfortable speech doesn't need protection. It's uncomfortable speech that does. And it's just, we can't sleep on the fact that we have a gift here with the New American Media, with independent journalism. I just always ask myself, what would Thomas Paine be doing? What would Benjamin Franklin be doing if they had Twitter and Facebook and YouTube? What would they be doing? I think they'd be crushing it. So anyway, we're working on something like that. And yes, Roger, I will let you know about that. So anyhow, I want to get to one more thing. I want to talk about these guys, the Cleveland Indians, and then we're going to probably bounce for now, hoping that we can do our full show, our full Cleveland Browns preview show with Brandon Odell later this evening. All of that jazz. So for here, hang on tight for one more second. I'm going to go ahead and press pause on this one, and we'll be right back.